The family of a woman who was murdered by her estranged husband say they are overjoyed that parental rights laws will be changed in her name. Jade Ward, 27, was stabbed and strangled in her home in Shotton, Flintshire, by Russell Marsh in 2021. Her mother said she was proud of everyone who helped a campaign to strip parental rights from Marsh, who was jailed for at least 25 years. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said it was important after an awful crime. Under current laws, killers need to be consulted on decisions affecting their children such as health, education, and travel. Man jailed for murdering wife as children slept. Family has setback stopping killer parents' rights. Mr. Sunak told BBC Breakfast that the Jade's Law announcement would make a difference. People will remember that awful crime and we're going to change that, said Mr. Sunak. It shouldn't be the case that if someone murders their partner, they still have rights over their children, he added. Ms. Ward's mum Karen Robinson said, knowing that he had rights and he was sending messages through his lawyer, making it known he's still around and still in control, was horrible. I'm just so proud of everybody who's been a part of Jade's Law campaign, the people who signed the petition, people who sent supportive message, people who stopped us in the street. We were going through such trauma, but I couldn't leave Jade's death in vain, she said. Jade was such a beautiful soul, who has left such a legacy for other families. We are hoping that once it's all up and running, a spouse considering murdering the other parent, if they know they'll lose rights, if that stops them, that's a family saved, Mrs. Robinson said. Today it's all about Jade, her personality, her wacky clothes, her red lipstick she was known for, she told BBC Radio Wales Breakfast. She was one of a kind, and she will continue to be one of a kind. Marsh is serving a life sentence but continuously contacted the Ward family for photographs and school reports. Jade Ward had previously been known as Jade Marsh. Ms. Ward's parents, Karen Robinson and Paul Ward, have been campaigning for a change in the law since her murder. Edwin Duggan, a friend of the Ward family and campaigner for Jade's Law, said he felt overjoyed, but also shocked following previous setbacks. There was a lot of restraint on the Ministry of Justice side. They thought there was enough legislation that would suffice. Anyone could apply to have parental responsibility removed. Our argument was they shouldn't have it in the first place. When this goes through, I know it will save lives. Families in the future will not have to go through what Karen and Paul have. The announcement was welcomed by Mark Tammy, the Labour MP for Allen and Deeside, who has been supporting the family's campaign. He said, "I'm delighted that the government has finally changed their mind despite telling me for so long that it couldn't be done." What was the Jade's Law petition? An online petition got more than 130,000 signatures and triggered a parliamentary debate. In July, an amendment to a bill to suspend the rights of killer parents in jail was turned down by MPs. The Ministry of Justice said legislation was already in place for judges to effectively remove all rights and powers from a parent who has murdered the other, but it added it was eager to go further. Justice Secretary Alex Chalk will outline plans to introduce Jade's Law at the Conservative conference later on Tuesday. He said the campaign had exposed an injustice in the system. Murderers who kill their partners should not be able to manipulate and control their children from behind bars, which is why we are fixing the law to protect families from this appalling behavior, he said. The new legislation will introduce an automatic suspension of parental responsibility while any mother or father is serving time for killing the person they shared that responsibility with. It means the burden will no longer be on family members to apply to the family court to ask for the parental rights of a killer to be removed. There will be an exemption for parents who kill their partner in a relationship with a history of domestic abuse. The measures will be introduced to Parliament as part of the Victims and Prisoners Bill before the end of the year.